Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 4 crazy rescue dogs, and a rescue cat who likes to craft in her spare time. Everything else is up for debate or grabs, I guess. If you're new here, welcome to my craziness. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message. It boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could really use both. And if you're a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for, so grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. So last week ended up being rather crazy. It was Halloween, which was fine. Our neighborhood, they did trunk or treat over the weekend, so we didn't have any trick-or-treaters, which was fine. Where did we end up that took forever? Because usually I like to be in early on Halloween. I don't like to be out driving. I ended up in the ER. That's where it was. That's where I was on Halloween with my son. My son is okay. They think he may have pinched a nerve in his lower back that was cutting off the feeling and causing his leg to be completely numb and everything. So they gave him some muscle relaxers and some meds. And yeah, so that sort of spurred the week. I don't know. So we had that going on. Sadly, I found out that I did not get the job with the county. And I'm trying not to let it really take a toll on my self-esteem. I'm trying to... I did write back and said, thank you for the consideration. If there's something that you thought was lacking in my resume, so that going forward, should a position open up again that I can meet that qualification, please let me know. What can I do to be better equipped to maybe take on the job next time a position comes about. Do I expect them to answer that? Sadly, no. No, I don't. Would it be great if they did? Yes, absolutely, it would be. I spent lots of time filing a couple cases and on other things. Friday, they ended up getting me in. I'd gone to see the cardiologist, and he was basically, we need to get you in, get that heart monitor replaced as soon as possible. They are seeing the extra heartbeat, and then there are times where I have a longer than normal, just slightly out of the normal range on the longer Q length. I don't quite understand. It's nothing serious, but obviously we want to be able to be on top of things. So they replaced that on Friday. That took longer than I think we were kind of hoping. My incision is a little bit bigger, and I had a not typical for the average person reaction to the anesthetic. Very normal for me. So I was then told I was not allowed to really drive any long distances. So that cut out my Saturday plans. And I'm really bummed. I was going to go to Indiana and finally be able to give Janet Jabber a hug in person. And I was so looking forward to that. And that had to be canceled. And so, yeah, that kind of sucks. So it's been kind of a rough weekend. On the upside, I've gotten some stuff done. I've really tried to be cognizant of resting and honoring what the doctor, not just what the doctor says, but what his intent behind it. Because it's one thing to tell me to rest, because what's restful for me is not what most doctors are assuming is rest. And I've had to have a come meet Jesus talk with myself about that. That, for me, resting my brain or resting my body or doing self-care may be a 2 to 4 hour bike ride. That's not restful for the next person or for the average person. But to me, that is. And that's a form of self-care for me. So but I know that when the cardiologist was like, no, you need to rest and make sure your incision is healing properly, that you're fueling your body. I had met with a dietitian, and her going over my numbers, she's like, I think part of the extreme exhaustion that I have been having, is essentially I'm starving my body. My body just doesn't have the fuel that it needs to even do basic normal everyday function. And so she almost doubled my calories that I had been doing, and showed me where to kind of focus my energy, like my eating and that. And so that was kind of, and then she, I do think that the vitamin D that I'm taking, the extra vitamin B, those kinds of things are helping as well. But again, my body's not going to heal from this procedure or heal that incision if I'm not fueling properly, and I'm not resting properly. So I've really tried to be good about that this last weekend, and I urge anybody else who's like, really look at how you are fueling your goals. And I think that's going to be my theme for 2025, is to fuel your goal. Fuel your goal. The other thing that I have realized over the last couple months is I don't have to light myself on fire to keep the next guy warm. That's not my job. Because what happens is I burn up into ashy flames, and the next guy is still, he'll just move on and find somebody else to warm the fire. So if you're not willing to walk alongside me and support me and help fuel my fire, I don't have to waste and expend the energy to keep you warm. And that may sound very selfish, and it's not meant to be selfish. Ladies. It's not meant to be a selfish thing in most ways, but in some ways it is selfish, and that's okay. Being selfish is not always a bad thing, and that's the other thing that I have come to realize. So, yeah, there you go. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. It's okay to take care of your own mental health and your own well-being before you're expending all of that on other people. The other thing that I met with a business coach, and she gave me some great pointers, and she had a come meet Jesus talk with me about things, and she's absolutely 100% right with what she's saying. There were a couple things I was like, I didn't even think about that. She, it was a good meeting. And so I am going to be pulling in some people who owe me favors. It's time for Kelly to start calling in the favors that are owed to her in order to be where I need to be. And in order for me to keep doing the things that I would like to do. It is not fair. I'm one of those, like, especially with my clients, I take every sob story and I don't get paid. And so now I have, like, literally, I looked at our accounting with this business person, and she's like, how is your receivables that high? There is no reason that your receivables, I have $250,000 in receivables, and yet I'm sitting here worried about paying my kids' tuition or how I'm going to fix the ball joints on my Jeep. She's like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You took on that work. You did the work. No, we're not taking sob stories anymore for payments. Tears don't pay the bills. And she's like, you need to stop treating your law firm. She goes, and maybe I need to hire somebody in to do the billing, to do the collecting of the money, because then I still get to provide the skills that I know that I'm good at. But it separates me from that tug of war. And I think that may be what I end up doing. And even if I only have that person in 1 or 2 days a week to do that, again, that essentially should more than pay for itself. So we're going to be looking at some of those things, and some other stuff. So she has encouraged me to start a law YouTube channel. So just, a bunch of little clips kind of thing, as well as utilizing my Facebook and Instagram posts. So I will probably be doing some of that. I'm going to film it from my office, not from my house, because this is craziness. So yeah, and then the goal is that I can afford to hire somebody to just come in and paint that wall and fix the drawer fronts properly, because apparently my Gorilla Glue gave out. Yeah. So overall good. Looking at 2025, this is about the time of year where I really start looking at what are my goals for 2025, what are my plans as far as, what I'm doing. I really want to do the Haid sale for 2025. I want to do the picture of the drinks by Lars Stewart. No big surprise. It's the same bright kind of colors that Amy Stewart. I think they're married. I don't think they're brother sister. I think they're married. It's no big surprise that that's the one I am leading to. But like, if I could get the 6 pages done and get all the 12 patterns, honestly, I like the bunny and the cabbage leaf. I like the flamingos. Bean would love the flamingos. And there was one other one in there too that I forgot. Oh, and by the way, Kim, Bean threatened to take my flamingo. So, I'm trying to talk myself out of doing the Haid one, though, because that's a lot of stitches. And I have a lot of full coverages that I could start. I have a lot of full coverages that I've already started. But I do have my whip list is now back down to under 50. I know. It's very exciting. So, I have not bought anything. I've been focusing on... Shake the things. We are down to... I have 3 finishes, y'all. 3. I know. But let's get into our stitching first, okay? How about that? So, the first up that I'm always working on until it's done, but we're now at 71% done. Just over 71% done. And that's Kay and Dennis. If I keep on track of my daily stitches, I stitch 432 stitches a day on this. I will be done before the end of the month. Hang on one second. Lady, we don't want to hear your mouth. Shh. Shh. She wants her butt scratched. So if I stitch 430, and I'm ahead right now because I started that count on Saturday and Friday. I don't know. I've been stitching like 600 and some stitches a day. So the sooner it's done, the better. Then I can get it to the framer and hopefully have it back in time for Christmas. God willing. But you can see I've gotten in more and more of her shirt, more of their hands. It's looking so good. It's looking so good. So that's my big push. Okay. Part of the way I rationalize that, first I call it my daily 30, but really it's way more than 30 stitches. Hold please. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so it's been helpful that I can use that so much for Dancing with the Stars. I can use it so much for Survivor Stitching. Honestly, that's been the big push, but yeah, I'm still thinking about that Haid. I just like the bright colors, and it would be so different than what I've been stitching lately, which has been a lot of very fall, darker oranges. I feel like I need a year of really bright, loud colors. Okay, so first up, was Stitching with the Stars. One of the top score getters was Chandler Kinney. And Chandler is my Disney character, my Disney cell. I did not get all of the characters ripped out. I hate frogging. First of all, I hate frogging. So what I did was, I came over and I did this swirl. I figured out that I have enough space to do 5 columns across. Had I known that, I would have spaced the castles out better. I would have done castle, flower, castle, flower, castle, instead of flower, castle, 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 flower. But now I think I'm just overthinking this whole freaking thing, and I just need to get this done, because really and truly, we need it done. And it's nowhere close to being done. So I got those stitches in. The other thing is Semi-Stain Stitchers group is doing a challenge right now. And you start off with 10 shopping bags. And then, so we're on day 3. And, like, you could go and steal 1 shopping bag from somebody who stitched less stitches than you. So I don't want my bags stolen. I haven't gone and stolen anybody's bags, so people need to leave me alone and let me just let me be. Just let me be. Please. Okay. So then we're still working on whip go goals. We're closer. We're getting closer. Listen. This is my board. I'm actually down to 3, so somewhere I've got to cross off some. Right? 3 or 4. No, this is right. 2 Monopoly, a French horn, and a Williams stocking. So in here is the French horn. I only have like 650 stitches left to get my square, the second square caught up. But look at that bell. Oh, she's a beautiful thing. At one point, William named his horn. Now he swears he's never done this, but he did. He named it Patricia. So this is Patricia, the French horn. And I totally love it, and it is so pretty. So now I don't have the French horn assigned to anybody with survivor stitching, I don't think. So I don't think I do. I think it's just a straight up whip go piece, which is, I like when I double dipped. I'm going to be honest. I like the whole double dipping them, because then it works out easier. So then on whip go is Vanessa's stocking. Okay. Vanessa's stocking. See these letters up here? That's what I decided to work on for my 1,000 stitches. Why? Because when I went back to stitching tonight on my copy, it was a little crazy, and I couldn't figure out in the car where I was. So I pulled out my pattern. And now I realize where the mistake is. Because on the chart down here, I looked at those numbers on the main chart for those colors. That's very different than the chart. They should not have used the same, they should have used the same symbols up top as they are down below. They are not. So now I've got to frog all this. Because that's clearly not the right colors. And I thought it was strange as I was stitching, and I was like, this isn't right, this isn't right. Because it's not. So when you come at me next time, the next time I work on Vanessa's stocking, hopefully it'll be right. This is in my I love this bag. This is one of my really nice, lovely bags. This was a gift from Janet. It's a Linux Stitch Creates bag. It's so cool. I love this bag. It totally goes with William's horn. His whole... It's a good bag. I love that bag. Next up, in my So Much to Love bag from Stephanie, is my 4th of July rules. 4th of July rules got some... It was easy to pull out because it was assigned to Jen Tran, who was from Dancing with the Stars. She was on Bachelor Nation. I don't know that show. So I just said, pick on something, stitch on something patriotic. So I partnered it with the 4th of July rules, which I started to sell with Stephanie. Stephanie has finished hers. Never mind my strings. Listen, you don't come to my show to watch for iron things, stitches, or neat bags. If you're looking for that stuff, ain't not gonna happen here. Okay, so I got that done. I got this section done. So now the next one is, I think it's go to a parade or watch a parade. Go to the parade with the little bunny. She's very cute. Let's see. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. I don't know why I'm struggling so hard today. Okay, so it is, we're now right here. So, now while it did get eliminated with Stitching with the Stars, as I call it, or Dancing with the Stars, I did partner it with one of my Survivor cast members. So, you know, there's that. And then hopefully I can get back into a routine working on myself as well. Okay, next up was Joey Grazade was a high score on Dancing with the Stars. And then one of the bonuses for Survivor Stitching was when they got sent to the island for their luxury or whatever it was, they played pickleball. So it was Pickle Whip that has a ball or a pickle. So I picked the Pickle Sampler. For those of you who don't know, the Pickle Sampler is not called the Pickle Sampler. It's actually called the Cucumber Harvest Cucumber Sampler from Owl Forest Embroidery. I call it the Pickle Sampler because it looks like pickle. It's all about pickles. And I'm stitching this for my friend Jasmine, who's my ride or die in our program, and we always ate pickles together. So what I can tell you is this is as tall as this piece gets. I thought it was bigger. We all know that by now Kelly has no sense of spatial concepts. None. So I thought it was bigger. It's the perfect size. But what this also means is that if I now, the next time I pick it up, if I stitch either going across or finishing going across here, I'll be able to start looking for an appropriately sized frame. And that's always a good thing. Then also in the same bag, don't ask why, but now it works for me that they're in the same bag, is He Tends His Flock. And I worked on this because the person eliminated Tiana, was assigned He Tends His Flock. So I did pull this out and work on it for her elimination from Survivor. It is on blush fabric from Atomic Ranch in a 32 count linen. I love this fabric. It just gets blown out in the light. And it makes the light stitches not even look like they were there. But I put in, I filled in the bits of clouds, and then I started on the first row of meadow so that we can start seeing some more progress. This is not one that will ever be a car project. There's just no way. I know that. Like, it's not a good car project. I wish it was. Okay. What's in here? Oh. Okay, so this is I joined the Stitchingly Murder Mystery cross stitch, and so there's a group of us and we all discuss the clues and whatnot. But you basically picked your own fabric, you picked whatever excuse me, flosses you wanted. So I grabbed some of my fancy flosses out of my stash. And this is a piece of self-dyed Ada. Nothing fancy. But I am current on this sale. This is the first time ever that I will probably finish when I'm supposed to. Now there's one more drop to come out. And I have a feeling it's just going to be a repeat of these flowers. So I'm half tempted to just go ahead and start putting them in. But you know, the second I do, that's when it's not going to be right. So, and then I was debating, do I do them in the same order so that it's white, blue, white, blue, white? Or do I do them blue, white, blue? On the bottom, I think I'm going to go with just the same. But like I said, I got it all caught up this weekend and we're good to go. We're ready to go with the last one. And this stays in my bag from Needle and Bones. It's a great size for just a little small project. To be honest, it's just, her zippers are like butter. They zip and close like butter. I like the bigger ones. I've got three of her bigger ones. This is a medium-sized one. I got two of the big ones, and they fit my, like, the Disney style and my periodic table, which that should tell you how nice size these are. This one fits Mr. Pumpkinhead, and Mr. Pumpkinhead, I worked on him because it was the 31st. So Kim and Tina and I, there's a couple others that are working on Mr. Pumpkinhead. Mr. Pumpkinhead is actually called Jacques de Lanterns. It was in the Keepsakes calendar of 2019. And so we're selling him, and it's the Mr. Pumpkinhead sale because, you know, I named it and I'm real fancy with the names. And so the bonus stitch, since the Survivor teams all combined into one, and Team Becca was to work on your newest whip. This is my newest whip, so he got some stitches in. So yeah, that's his stem. I wish somebody could verify if there is a Mrs. Pumpkinhead. Does anybody know for sure one way or the other? Because it's driving me nuts. And that's a really short drive. But I need to know. Again, a Tanya bag. Because who doesn't love some magical unicorns? And in the inside is cupcakes. I love that. Okay. Wow. That went fast. Okay. That's all my stitching. Who knew? I thought there was more. But there's not. You know why? Because I finished 3 things. Finished 3. Who am I? They're not FFO'd. That would be a fall miracle. But they're finished. The first one up, I believe I started this in 2021. It is the Climbing Goats Wonders of the Solar System sale. All of the stars are in where they're supposed to be, roughly. Close to be. And the comet there, all done in E940. So in the middle of the night, they will light up. God, love it. Bean hasn't decided if she wants it framed or if she wants it made into a pillow. So, I can't FFO it yet. Look at my little stack of like FFOs. That's what I should do. It looks like, so I have to finish 3 more things by the end of the year to hit my 24 and 24. Several of them were small ornaments, and I did actually FFO them. I am on track. The mystery cell will get done, especially if it's only those little 5 flowers, which is what I'm pretty sure it's going to be. Don't quote me. Bougie Cat, I can push to finish, and Kay and Dennis is going to get finished, even if I have to pull on all-nighters. Seriously. The next up, I finally finished because I was like, this is ridiculous. The only thing left on this is the back stitching, and there wasn't even, god-awful amounts of back stitching. So, yeah. So, I bring to you Mermaid Santa. Is he not just glorious? Oh, he's so good. It's self-dyed Ada. I wish I could reproduce it because if I could, I would make yards of it. I love this color. It's kind of blowing it out. It's like a minty blue green. I mean, it's like green sea glass. It is such I love this color. Oh, I love this color. Um, and I love him. I really hope that the stitcher, the designer, does in fact come out with a Mrs. Claus, because if they did, I have the piece of Ada already set aside for her, and they would make the most glorious addition to my Christmas wall that I don't have right now, but I will. I will. I will. Okay, so then I was like, all right. Okay, so this is how stupid I am. Let me get a drink of water. I made a copy of the pattern so that I had a working. When you're doing the big chunks of the HME, wasn't a big deal to follow the pattern and not write on the pattern. But with the sunflower, I was having trouble. Well, then I kept getting my pattern turned sideways and stuff, and so then it wasn't working. So the sunflower is not exactly how it was charted. I don't think that if I didn't tell you that, I don't know that you would know that. Maybe you would. I don't know. It's my rendition because I'm mean. But it's done. It's done. So, with that, because I know that I'm never going to stitch this again. I'm not. I'm just not. And I have a ton of stuff. I am going to auction. I'm going to give away the pattern. It's not been written on or anything. It has been is a little crinkly, but you get the pattern, you get the bag, and you get the needle minder, because I don't use needle minders. This one actually reminds me of like the old chapstick containers. So you'll get the needle minder as well. You'll have to source your own fabric and your own floss, but it's DMC flosses, and there's only 4 of them. Although I will tell you, for 3031, the letters, you need 3 skeins. You really do need 3. You barely go into the 3rd one, but you do need it. And it calls for whitewash board from Fabric Flare. I don't buy Fabric Flare on my own, so. But you'll have to source that. But if you would like this, go ahead and use the word home in your comment. And next week I will pick the winner, and I will get this in the mail before Christmas, so that you can stitch it in the spring. I don't know. So yeah, there'll be that. So this next week I have a couple hearings. I have Tuesday is election day, so we will go vote. Yeah, I urge you to vote. That's all I'm going to say on that. I urge you to vote. That day I am going to be working on, I'm going to start, I got to pull the fabric and stuff for it. I think I'm going to start the 42 strong fabric piece, in the hopes that we really are making a difference. But I'm also gonna, I'm all caught up on Dancing with the Stars now. I'm all caught up with Survivor until Thursday. I'm just gonna be working on my Black Friday brawl in semi-stain. Hopefully I can keep all of my bags and keep plugging away at Dennis and Kay will be the main things. My secondary, besides Kay and Dennis, will be the French Horn Monopoly and William Stalking and Bougie Cat. I forget what day of the week this week that the last drop comes out on the mystery stop. And then I need to make a decision about the Haid sale. Does anybody else want to do the Haid sale with me? If I do it, I am going to pick the one with the Lars Stewart piece, the Drinks on the Beach. Just because I really want to just totally do bright colors. And kind of move away from the orange fall tones. So yeah. Um, Other than that, I don't really know. Like, I'm just plugging away at things and keeping them going. So, um, if you need me, you can reach out to me at His Princess Kelly. If you have any questions about anything that I'm stitching or anything I'm doing, let me know. Let me know if you think I should go ahead and join this hate sale. You know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. The other thing is, I am going to do Whip Go next year. What I have decided to do, my Whip Go is a little bit different. It may not all be stitching. Um, I'm going to fill it in with each square with like a general prompt. Like stitch on something that's a gift, stitch on an ornament, stitch on those kinds of things. But I'm also going to fill in a bunch of squares with friends of my names. And when I call it, like, I call Jane, if I call Kim, if I call, whoever, then you get to pick what I do where I focus my energy that month. And you can pick, you need to go paint that wall. You need to go, I don't know, take a nap. Whatever it is, go knit on your Stegosaurus sweater that I need to get finished. That's, partially done, that the dogs ate the needles again off of. But, or, go work on, finish up a quilt that you have a quilt top for, but you haven't quilted. Or, like, you could, if your name is called on my board, then you get to pick whatever it is you want me to do for that month. Like, focus my energy on for, really realistically for half the month, because 2 squares per month. My middle square will be to FFO stuff. And I am going to try and do 25 finishes in the year. I still have quite a few whips. And I also need to track down some like creamy colored even weave, because I do want to do the flower. It's an older Flowers of the Month sale. It's free. I'm totally blanking on who the maker is. Jessie Marie Does Stuff did it finished hers a couple years back, and I have been in love with it ever since. And I would like to do that one. And I will try to pop that information down below. And then I also would like to do the Fox and Rabbit sale from this year on creamy color 32 count even weave. And I was thinking, if I do the hate sale, I may actually try pre-gridded fabric, like an 18 count pre-gridded fabric, because I don't think they make 22 count pre-gridded fabric. 18 count I think is fine. What I think what's holding me up is, they say if you can complete 6 pages, then you get all of the patterns that are in the sale. So I think there's 12 of them that you would get. But how many stitches is that? Because the whole piece is like 82,000, which is about 20,000 stitches bigger than Rosie was, because Rosie was 63,000. And if that's the only thing I was stitching, I'd say, okay, not a big deal. I could do it. But I also know that that's not going to be the only thing I'm stitching. So I don't know. But then they're saying that they're not going to release those patterns ever. Like, if you don't get them through the sale, you don't get them. And so I'm kind of torn. So I don't know. I don't know what I should do. And you have to join before the middle of December. So, I don't know. It's not like I don't have other full coverages to do. I mean, I have a couple of the bookshelves by Amy Stewart. I have the full coverage for 42 Strong. I have Henrietta. I have full coverage for pieces. That's not a problem. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think. So we will see each other again on Thursday when I recap Survivor for you. Again, no Dancing with the Stars this week, which I think means that next week we end up with a double elimination. So, in the meantime, remember, you are strong. You are beautiful. You are cherished. You are loved. You are strong. You are needed and you are wanted. And most importantly, you matter. So, we'll catch you guys on Thursday. Bye, y'all.